Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the May 11, 2026 meeting of the Newtown Township Board of Supervisors. Mr. Neese, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Altieri,
Here.
Mr. Sanfrancesco.
Here.
Ms. Chanlis, Ms. Grasso,
Here.
Mr. Russo.
Here.
Your engineers, solicitor, and manager are here.
Perfect. We will now move into the moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. And we'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get down to section 5, which is the agenda, I do want to note at the outset, this is an exciting week for Newtown Township with the PGA Championship taking place in Aronimink. But more importantly, it's an exciting week because we are celebrating the belated birthday of Michael Russo, whose birthday was on Saturday, and who decided to come today on his own birthday, Supervisor Sanfrancesco. So happy birthday to the two of you.
Happy birthday.
I'm happy that I was able to give you guys this gift of a township meeting. Yeah. We're very appreciative of that. You get to spend it with us, exactly. Section 5, we're actually going to amend the agenda. So I'm going to make a motion to amend the agenda. What we are going to amend is we will be adding section 14. Above section 14, after 13.4 will be an executive session where the board will meet in executive session for a personnel matter. We will then come back into this room. We'll allow for public comment, board comment, and then we'll adjourn the meeting. So we're going a little out of order this evening. So I'll make that motion to amend the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries, and now I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda. Is there a second? Motion is made by Supervisor Grasso, seconded by, motion was made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor Grasso. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Section 6, public comment for agenda items only. If there's any members of the public who wish to provide any public comment, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
John Butler, 102 Hunters Run. I see on the agenda, we're gonna over the audit. Is the auditor going to be here? Is it normal that we have elected auditors, but they not review the audit before it comes before the township? And the other question I have, this is like 3 years late. Normally, I thought in the second-class township, the auditors met and appointed an auditor to do the job. And I don't think they did that in January. So I'm wondering when this auditor was appointed, and apparently we haven't had an audit for 3 years. Is it something that's been hanging there for 3 years? And normally, the auditor is changed every 4 or 5 years. And I saw the auditor that shows on the township website did one like a 22 and 21. So they've been around a while. And the ones before that, nobody ever signed the audits. So I don't know who did that. So are we going to really review it tonight? And I do have a question on the payment list again. I was surprised I got a right to know rejection, but the attorney bills, they don't really specify what they do. I'm kind of curious how much the rejection was billed by an attorney. I don't want to run bills up for the township. It was a simple question. What's going on Bishop Howell and 7 Campus Boulevard? That shouldn't need to have a right to know. And I'm going to have to file more right to knows. It's going to cost the township more money, which I don't want to do, because the public has a right to know what's going on there. And that really bothers me that we're not that open. So I gather the auditor isn't going to be here to talk about the audit, and the audit isn't online. It's kind of difficult to ask questions about what it is. But part of the job when the audit is done, you adjust the accounts for the previous year to see where the budget is for this year. They were 3 years behind. And, you know, the accounts for the last year have to be adjusted. They haven't been.
Any other public comment? All right. Mr. Neese, just a couple of things there. I just want to just highlight, number one, I think that it's been very open and transparent in this township that we've had some personnel changes with regards to the finance department. Is that correct? And is it
That's
fair?
correct.
So you said it's correct.
That's correct.
And is it fair to say that the individual that we had working in the finance department around, 2024, that would have been responsible for the 23 audit, we realized that that was just not working. Is that correct?
That's also correct.
All right. And so that person no longer is employed with the township, which was a public vote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we hired a new individual to not only fix the 2023 audit, but to get us prepared for 2024. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that person unfortunately didn't work out either.
That's correct.
And so now we have a new individual that's in that finance department that has gotten us to where we are.
We're using a third party to help us get to where we are.
Got it. And so we have the 2023 audit is complete.
That's correct.
And because the 2023 audit needed to be complete first, to be able to get us into 2024.
That's correct.
Right. Then the 2023 audit that came out is a clean audit. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Meaning that the auditor found no issues with anything.
That's correct.
It was just us kind of getting that paperwork together and submitting that off to where we needed to.
Right.
Okay. There was one other question or one other comment with regards to, well, it's actually not for you to answer, but I'll just say that with regards to transparency, as an attorney who travels the Commonwealth and practices in municipal law, every single thing that this board gets, with the exception of privileged information, is on the township website. So I think it's important to note that. But with regards to the process of the audit coming to this board, I think there's confusion about what the elected auditors do versus the appointed auditor. Just high level, explain that process, just
Sure.
so there's no confusion for people out there.
So what we've always done and what we've done even through the 23 audit, had done as we're moving through the 24 audit, is we have the auditors meet, our elected auditors meet with the appointed auditor. To be very clear, it is the board's responsibility to appoint the auditor, and the board has done that every year with the proper advertising of 30-day notice prior to appointing that auditor. And they've done that. The elected auditors meet with the appointed auditor prior to him beginning the audit. They recommend certain things for that auditor to look at. Once the audit has been completed, prior to it coming to you, the elected auditors review that with the appointed auditor. And then it's brought to you for your approval that we can then make it public for everyone to see.
Perfect. All right. We will now move down to, if there's no more public comment, we'll move down to section 7, minutes, 7.1. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the April 27, 2026 meeting?
Move.
Motion is made by Supervisor Sanfrancesco, seconded by Supervisor Russo. Is there any board discussion? All's in favor signify by saying aye. All's opposed, motion carries. Section 8, resolutions of recognition. This is the whole fun for tonight. So we have 3 exciting resolutions, at least exciting from the board's perspective, to recognize 3 key individuals who keep our township functioning, quite frankly. The individuals who are in charge of making sure that we are beaming into everybody's personal computers, cell phones, and living rooms.
Beaming.
I said beaming. I did say beaming. Yeah. As a local government nerd, I think it's great that we have young individuals who are being exposed to this. And we have 3 of the best, quite frankly, here in Newtown Township that we're going to recognize tonight. So I'm going to start off with the resolution 2026-16, recognizing Tim Alderfer. Is that correct? Did I say it right? There it is. All right. So whereas Tim has faithfully served Newtown Township since December 2023 as an audiovisual student technician, providing technical support and operating audiovisual equipment for the township board and committee meetings. And whereas Tim has helped ensure that township meetings and public proceedings were videoed for the benefit of township officials, staff, and residents. And whereas Tim will graduate this year from Marple Newtown High School and plans to pursue a degree in business, beginning with the completion of his business prerequisites during the summer before enrolling in an online program through which he expects to earn his bachelor's degree within 2 years. And whereas the Board of Supervisors recognizes Tim's hard work, ambition, and bright future ahead and commends him for balancing his academic pursuits with the service to the township. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Newtown Township hereby expresses its sincere appreciation and gratitude to Tim Alderfer for his 2.5 years of service to Newtown Township and congratulates him on his upcoming graduation from Marple Newtown High School. Be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors extends its best wishes to Tim for continued success for his future educational and professional endeavors. Resolved this 11th day of May, 2026, and that's my motion. Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I think what we'll do is we'll read all the resolutions, then we'll take pictures with everybody individually. I think it's probably just time-wise makes the most sense. So now we'll move down to 8.2, Resolution 2026-17, recognizing AV student Nathaniel Jolly. And we'll turn it over to, Supervisor Catherine Chanlis to read this one. And for those who don't know, it's Nathan's mom, so Nathaniel's mom.
I just want to point out that I didn't write this, but I agree with all of it. So. All right, resolution number 2026-17, recognizing Nathaniel Jolly. Whereas Nathaniel Nate Jolly has served Newtown Township over the past year as an audiovisual student technician, assisting with the operation and management of audiovisual equipment during township board and committee meetings. Whereas Nate has contributed to the smooth presentation and accessibility of public meetings for township officials, staff, and residents. And whereas Nate's positive attitude and commitment to public service have reflected great credit upon himself, Marple Newtown High School, and the Newtown Township community. And whereas Nate will graduate from Marple Newtown High School on June 11th, 2026, and will attend George Washington University Honors College, where he will major in international relations. And whereas the Board of Supervisors recognizes Nate's academic achievements and aspirations and applauds his dedication to both his education and his service to the township. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Newtown Township hereby extends its sincere appreciation to Nathaniel Jolly for his valued service to the township and its residents. Be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors congratulates Nate on his graduation from Marple Newtown High School and offers its best wishes for continued success as he begins the next chapter of his academic journey at George Washington University Honors College. Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Russo. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 8.3, Resolution 2026-18, recognizing AV student James Moran.
Resolution number 2026-18, recognizing James Moran. Whereas James Moran has served Newtown Township as an audiovisual student technician, assisting with the preparation and operation of audiovisual equipment for the Township Board and committee meetings. And whereas James has helped provide an important service that benefits township officials, staff, and members of the community attending or viewing public meetings. And whereas James has carried out his duties while balancing the demands of his education at Marple Newtown High School. And whereas James will graduate from Marple Newtown High School on June 11th, 2026, and will continue serving the township in his current role through the summer of 2026. And whereas following graduation, James plans to travel during the summer before entering the workforce full-time in the fall of 2026, pursuing a career as an electrician. And whereas the Board of Supervisors wishes to recognize James for his contributions to the township and to commend him for his ambition, dedication, and plans for the future. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Newtown Township hereby expresses its sincere appreciation to James Moran for his service and commitment to Newtown Township. Be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors congratulates James on his graduation from Marple Newtown High School and extends its best wishes for success, safety, and fulfillment in his future career and endeavors. Resolved this 11th day of May, 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Grasso, seconded by Supervisor Russo. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're gonna miss seeing the three. Congratulations, guys. Do it in order. Tim will do you first. usually never this casual.
You always
Yeah,
have
it's
to laugh.
PGA, so we're all relaxed today, you know what I mean? Daniel, next one. So for years, everybody thought Nate's real name was Nathan. We found out today it's Nathaniel. So congratulations, Nate. How's the photo? Come on. Bring your hand down. All right, James, come on over. Yes, come on too, if you want. Yeah.
That's really, I haven't done it.
You can do whatever you want. Stand right in the middle. Open that bad way up. Yeah. You try to like that?
Yeah.
How just you guys. Just you guys. Just the three. They don't want us, they want to picture with their son.
Perfect.
Does your daughter
have a job?
She's
Listen
gonna
out
work.
for the three.
Yes.
But she actually works full time, at Garrett's Williams in the summer and every break, so.
Where's she going to law school?
She put her deposit down, but she's waitlisted at Villanova, so we'll see.
Oh, nice.
So,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Rich. All right, now we'll move down to 8.4, Resolution 2026-19, recognizing National Public Works Week. Supervisor Sanfrancesco.
Resolution 2026-19, rooted in service powered by community, National Public Works Weeks, May 17th, 2026. Whereas the week of May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 will be observed as National Public Works Week with the theme Rooted in Service Powered by Community. And whereas this year's theme, Rooted in Service Powered by Community, acknowledged that the roots of service run deep in public works and propel innovations that help our communities evolve into places where people can lead lives of purposeful and possibility. Whereas some public works efforts, such as building roads, bridges, are highly visible, with others such as maintaining water and sewer systems are less visible, but equally essential. And whereas together, these efforts form the foundation of thriving communities, reminding us that every project, seen or unseen, powers the connection between service, the people that it supports. Whereas public works infrastructure, facilities, and services are of vital importance to the health, safety, and well-being of the residents of the Township of Newtown. And whereas the Township urges all citizens to pay tribute to our public works professionals and employees to recognize the substantial contributions they make protecting our national health, safety, quality of life. And whereas this year, 2026, marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Newtown Township Board of Supervisors hereby joins the nation in honoring and celebrating the achievements of Public Works Department during the National Public Works Weeks held 17th of May through the 23rd of May, 2026. Adopted this 11th day of May, 2026. That is my motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Sanfrancesco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion?
The Public Works, as all of us know and say all the time, in this township is recognized by us a lot by saying thank you, but they are one of the best in this area, if not the state. There is not an issue with them that they won't do and go above beyond. And that's the leadership of George and Harry and all the staff there. They're just amazing people that really don't want this recognition. They just do their jobs and they do it with pride and joy of living in Newtown Township and serving the people. And if you ask any of them, that's what they say.
Yeah, the other thing too is you know, they are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether it's a holiday, it could be Christmas morning, a tree comes down that's blocking a road, Harry or someone is jumping in a truck, chopping it up to make sure that, roads can stay open. And I think that's something that a lot of people overlook, residents love them, when they plow their streets, and then they complain about them when they don't plow them to the level that they think that they do. But what they're not realizing is that they're out there in those snowstorms, sometimes 14, 15 hours. And they do work around the clock. And since I brought up an example of snow removal, I'll just say that I think that our streets always look a lot better than those in Radnor and Marple. So, I think it's a hard job that they're doing. So any other board discussion? All's in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All's opposed, motion carries. Section 9, report 9.1, report from the Township Engineer, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening. Just give a quick update. Greer Park project, weather's been great and they're moving right along. The stream channel is all in at this point. The majority of the pathway is paved. They're putting in the plant plugs this past week and they will be installing the piers for the boardwalk starting tomorrow. So that'll be the last major item for the completion of the project.
Is the water flowing through it now?
It is. There's water flowing down the channel. They'll have to stop it a little bit when they're doing the pier installation tomorrow to pump the pond down. But on Friday, the water was flowing down the channel and the
Perfect.
pond was at about its finished elevation.
Awesome. Any questions for the engineer?
Is the way the water is set up now the way it's going to be?
Yeah, so pretty much the elevation, and if you look at the back end of the pond where that stone is, that's pretty much where the water was sitting as of this week. And that's the final elevation. The boardwalk will be sitting 2 feet-ish above that water.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other board discussion? All right. 9.2, Mr. Neese.
Yes, the only thing I have is, we've had our first day with the PGA and, the good news, I don't have a lot to report and it went pretty smoothly. We'll make some minor tweaks. They're having a meeting in about 5 minutes to review the day and debriefing, but things went well.
I heard that Supervisor Sanfrancesco and Grosso were giving some lessons out on the greens. So Scotty Scheffler, I heard they were giving some good pointers. Any questions for the township manager? Great. Section 10, payments 10.1. Can I get a motion to approve a refund of $745 to Raising Surfers for their tent permit fees minus the fire marshal's inspection fee? It was confirmed by the fire marshal that canopies and not tents were used and therefore no permits were required.
So moved.
Motion is made by Supervisor Sanfrancesco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All's in favor, signify by saying aye. All's opposed, motion carries. 10.2, can I get a motion approving the following township escrow account releases for Delaware County Christian School that have not been approved by our that have been approved by our third-party professionals for completed work. Athletic field renovation escrow number 81-251-19029 for $1,177.50. Planning application school campus grade 6 to 12 escrow number 81-249-16013 for $460.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Russo, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Section 11, bills. 11.1, I've reviewed the bills and I'll make a motion to approve the bills on the check register dated May 11, 2026, totaling $376,522.50. Is there a motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor Sanfrancesco. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Section 12, developer release. 12.1, consider approving the letter of credit reduction number 2 in the amount of $123,200 to Thomas Pereira relative to construction at 3111 Sawmill Road, leaving a remaining balance of $542,496. Motion was made by Supervisor Chanlis, seconded by Supervisor Sanfrancesco. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Carries. Section 13, new business 13.1. I get a motion authorizing the township manager to sign the annual contract with Pathcom, Inc. with an associated cost of $4,366.50 for phone system maintenance at the municipal building. Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Russo. Mr. Neese.
This is just our annual contract with them. We usually put this on your agenda just for you to approve because it's a contract. And so nothing's changed with it, other than a slight increase, which is what we anticipated. I will say that we are going to be meeting with them. This phone system was put in about 15 years ago, I think now. And so we're probably going to have to upgrade it. They're no longer supporting it, but they will do maintenance on it this year. And so we'll be meeting with them. So you may hear us coming back with a proposal for another phone system, moving into at least 2027. Hard to believe we're going to say 2027, but anyway, that's where we are with this.
Any questions for Mr. Neese? Or any questions or any further board discussion, I should say? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 13.2, consider the presentation and approval of the 2023 township audit. Mr. Neese.
Yes, so I would bring your attention, we have received the audit. It is a clean audit, as you mentioned earlier. I will say there are two things that came up, in regards to the management letter that they're wanting us to keep an eye on. And I have to say, one of them is in all the management letters that they're doing for school districts and townships. So it's not even something specific to us. It has to deal with that there's always a risk that management overrides what's happening. We are looking for ways to make sure that we don't have that happen. And so we're working very hard at that. We're actually trying to tighten up our processes and procedures to make sure that that becomes less of an issue, but it's always good when the auditor says, hey, you got to look at this. And that's what he did. The other one was related to the potential actually overstatement of revenue. And so again, that's something that he said was related to most of his audits. And it's just something that we need to keep an eye on when we recognize revenue versus when we don't. And that's the big key. And that had some to do with when the accruals were done for the 2022 audit and how it impacted the 2023 audit. And so other than that, our audit's in good shape. The auditor's not here tonight because he was unable to be, but I need this audit approved so that we can get it to all the places that it needs to go to. And that's why it's before you tonight. In that, I thought I'd take 2 minutes and just kind of cover a few things.
Yeah.
Encourage you.
Can you just inform the public who the auditor is?
Yes, the auditor is Malley. They have been doing it for several years now. We opted to continue. Staff recommended publicly to you to recommend to continue to use them, even though the time period was up that we thought that they should do because of the change in staff. We thought it was important that the audit make sure the auditors who had been auditing us were keeping a close eye on what happened. And so they've been doing just that. I would make a couple comments regarding our position. Our net position, there was some between assets and liabilities changed very minorly. Actually, it was about $138,000, which is not a lot. That was an increase. And most of that has to do with the amount of long-term liability dropping and a little bit of increase in our deferred or decrease in our deferred revenues. So that was really where that came from. In our overall net position in the year for revenue versus expenses, that was actually a little bit more significant. That was about 1.4 million. And most of that's related to services, charges for revenue. And that was, if you remember, 23 was one of those years that was a big hit on Ellis Preserve. They did a lot of things over there, some of which we thought were not going to happen until the following year. But because of coming out of COVID, they actually jumped on it a little bit quicker, and they did that. I will say our tax revenue was also up that year, about 400,000. And we had an increase in other revenues, and that was because of some dollars for some grants that we had. And if you look at our grants one year to the next, you can see that big increase and then it dropped back off, which is not uncommon when you have grants in our finances. And so there's a full report in the management section that reviews, and then of course the auditor goes through all the detail in the back. We will put this up on the website once you approve it, hopefully tonight. and we will also get it posted in all the places that it needs to be posted. I will make note, since it's become a question, we have completed the work on the 2024 audit. The auditor just gave us for the municipal authority, which has to be done before our audit can be done. And so we've completed the work on that, and they've actually given us a draft to start looking at with a few things that we need to still pull together for them, and we're working to get that done. And we're working to get the 24 audits submitted to them, and they hope to turn that around as quickly as they turned around the municipal authority. So we're moving along, and we'll be getting the 25 audit right after that.
And in addition to the township audit, like you said, the township also oversees the books for helps
So-
with the audit with the municipal authority, and then also doing the audit for the library as well.
That is correct.
And so the library is completely taken care of all the way up to 2025.
That is correct.
Municipal authorities, you said, we have to rectify those accounts before we can get into the township ones. And so, 2024 municipal authority is received by the auditor. You guys are working on the other one. So despite the fact that we've publicly had conversations about staff turnover, we're in a good spot. We're moving forward. And everything should be lined up pretty good. So awesome.
And we're also at the mercy of the auditor. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not their only customer,
Yes.
but they're being very
They're
attuned to
they're
our.
being very attuned. They're paying very good attention to us in light of the time of year that it is for them. And we have kept the elected auditors informed the entire way through. In fact, I have a bi-weekly meeting with them to just inform them where we are along the way.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Neese? So I don't think we did a motion. So is there a motion to approve the 2023 township audit?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor Sanfrancesco, seconded by Supervisor Grasso. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 2023, can I get a motion approving the conditional offer of employment for a new hire in the police department at an annual rate per police contract contingent upon passing all required testing?
So moved.
Motion is made by Supervisor Sanfrancesco, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Mr. Neese, this is pretty self-explanatory, and I know it's personnel, so if there's nothing else you want to add to it.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is we're very excited. Hopefully this person will pass all the other tests, and we'll be able to announce who that is and move forward. But this is a good move.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 13.4, can I get a motion approving change order number 2 for the Bartram Bridge Structural Rehabilitation Project, which reduces the cost for line item number 004, full sawn transverse deck planks from $83,000 to $72,520, representing a savings of $10,480 on the project.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Grasso. Is there any board discussion? Mr. Neese, anything you want to add there?
What I thought was important to just let everyone know, we always anticipated there would be some savings here. We wanted to save as many of the original boards as possible, and they did that, and they moved those all to the center of the bridge so they would be the most protected and out of the weather. And there was enough that we were able to save about $10,000, but we didn't know what that was going to be until we got in it. So we bid it so all of the planks could be replaced. And fortunately, we didn't have to do that.
Well, I hope we approve this full sawn transverse deck plank this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. All right, as noted in the beginning, we are now going to break for executive session. We will come back into this room and we will conduct, we'll announce the executive session again. We're meeting for a personnel issue, and then we'll go back into public comment, board comment, and adjournment. So we shall return. Thank you, everyone.
Eric's here. Eric now. Eric makes yours. I got a laptop. All yours.
We're going to just go to the small conference. Yes, down here.
I was all happy.
I'll wait for them. Two of the last. Hey, buddy. Oh, we did before we. Oh, shit, that'll be. Start kindergarten. Yeah. It was like a really old, so it was like rather. It was long. Yeah, why not? I was like, I remember. The waterfall throw. White flag. Off light. Um. Best, article that I. Or it was like,
Literally, at one point. For the first time ever.
All right, it is not seven, it is 8:16. The board is back from executive session where again, we discussed two personnel matters. I'll now move it over to section 14, which is public comment. If there's any members of the public who wish to provide any public comment. Seeing none, we'll move down to section 15, board comment. Is there any board comment? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.